Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here with my guy, Chris Ruffolo, as we continue to cook up this WNBA action. Hey, man, off the couch, man, from watching college football all day. And I was like, ooh, I got to cook up some WNBA. We got a full card tomorrow, a nice card, low key. And y'all know we're going to break it down, try to find some value and make y'all some money. Ruffalo, how you doing today, my man? How you doing?
Dude, I'm doing all right. Like you said, I had to peel myself off of the couch. I kind of had to wake up a little bit and be like, ah, crap, I forgot we still got WNBA to do. Not saying, ah, crap, this is WNBA. It's just like you get into that mode, you settle into the couch, and then all of a sudden, it's like you lose all concept of time. But now we're still here. We're gonna break down the WNBA action. Still money to be made on Sunday, our last Sunday before NFL football takes over our Sundays. But hey, I said it yesterday. The money is all the same color, so. However it comes into our pockets, it doesn't matter to me.
Doesn't matter to me either, man. And so let's make it today in the WNBA. Decent card with a good amount of games. So let's cook it up. Let's continue to kick the crap out of the books. Let's make some money tonight. Let's outbreak for tonight's WNBA action. First game up. Got the Connecticut Sun at home at the crib with the Seattle Storm rolling into town. Sun 1.5 point favorites at home at the crib. Look, I liked the Storm before the All-Star break, before the Olympic break. Since then, they haven't covered anything. They haven't covered in a month and a half when you include the All-Star break. Man, this team has been struggling. And on the road, expecting them to win a game like this, I don't know if I can. It's also a revenge game at home, at the crib for the Sun. Y'all know I like those spots. I like that situation. Not my favorite game on this card today, but I'm going to play the spot and play the situation. I'm continuing to fade the Storm, who haven't covered anything. Give me the Sun here in this one. Ruffalo, what you thinking about this game?
Yeah, I think they're actually cold at the hotel because they can't even cover themselves with a bed sheet, let alone cover a point spread right now. I'm taking the Sun as well. You know, I don't like the Connecticut Sun. I think it's been well documented on the layup session. I don't love backing this team because I feel that sometimes they're just too heavily reliant on their defense. That being said, a lot of times when we've cashed against them is when they are laying bigger numbers. Like, yeah, they didn't cover. They lost outright to Indiana as a 4-point favorite, but they didn't cover laying 11, 13 and a half, 8 against the Atlanta Dream on the road. But they're only laying 1.5 here. You can take them on the money line if you want. It's minus 120. It's not a big jump in terms of laying the 1.5. I might just go with the money line, but I think the Sun at home, where they play their better basketball, is the play for me here. If this game was in Seattle, maybe have an easier time talking me onto the Storm, but home court I think is the difference here. I'm taking the Sun.
Next game up. Got the Chicago Sky out on the road facing the Minnesota Lynx. Lynx, 12-point home favorites here in this one. Ruffalo, what you got?
Yeah, I hate saying it like this because I sound like I'm a broken record, but I think the status of Kennedy Carter for the Sky is really important for this cap because if she plays, not only I think will the line drop, but you obviously want to, if you're going to try to get 12 points, having her in the lineup when she's scoring 15 a game is definitely key to, like I said, key to capping and having success with the Sky because we've seen what they have done without her, and that's not very much. But on the other side, you know, the Lynx are a big favorite for a reason, and we've seen this team crush teams left and right out of the Olympic break. They simply took their eye off the ball in their last game against the Wings, losing to the Wings outright. But I think rather than try to mess around and play the will she or won't she game with Kennedy Carter, I'm just going to take the under here because the one thing that's kind of held true during this streak is that the Sky, there have been times where they've really struggled to score, and that's what Minnesota's known for, is playing tight defense. And it wouldn't surprise me if we saw a game that came in under the total for me. So not my favorite game, but I'm taking the under 157.5.
For sure. I think you hit the nail right on the head. I think, Miss Carter looming over this game is huge. We've been saying that for a couple games with the Sky, and we've seen her loss not on this team and how it's affected this team in this stretch. In all honesty, I'm not a doctor, but I think she might be back here. And I think it might be worth a shot trying to grab the points here with the Sky and try to beat the news before the news comes down. So I would lean Chicago in this game. I think that in the slower pace game with the Lynx, their defensive reboundingness and maybe their offensive reboundingness kind of gives them an ability to keep this game a little closer than we might think. So a slower pace game, maybe some second chance points here for the Sky. I think keep them close in it. Lynx probably bounce back and get a dub here, but I wouldn't lay the points. I want the points in my back pocket here with Chicago. Next game up, we got Ruffolo's favorite team, the Las Vegas Aces, out on the road facing the Mercury. Mercury, home dogs, man. Aces laying 3.5 here in this one. Y'all know me. I've been fading the Aces a ton this season. I did take them in that last game here on the show. I thought that was probably a good spot for them to cover, and they covered by the skin of their teeth. An 11-point win. Look, against the Mercury this season, the season series is 2-1. Vegas does lead it. They won the last meeting 103-99 here in Phoenix. In this one, I'm just gonna stick to what I've been doing. I jumped on them last game, but I think in the grand scheme of things, fading the Las Vegas Aces is where I want to be 9 times out of 10. Yes, they're one of the best teams in the WNBA, if not still the best team. They're still the defending champs, but because of that, because they're the most recognizable WNBA team out there on the block, a lot of times I think they're overrated and overvalued. In the revenge spot at home at the crib, I can make the argument this game just means a little more to the Mercury, who are currently tied, battling with the Indiana Fever for playoff positioning. I think the Aces, they're right where they're going to be. They lost to the Lynx, and they're probably not going to catch the Lynx for the top seed. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Mercury won this game outright. I think grabbing the points with them is where I want to be here. Ruffolo, I know you love the Aces. What you thinking here in this game?
Yeah, I wanted to take the Aces. I'm not going to lie, just because I'm still waiting for Kelsey Plum's call. But the thing for me is that the Mercury have more to lose. And technically, because, they haven't clinched. They're probably not going to fall out of the playoff field. 8 games to go. There's 6 games up on the Dream, who are in 9. So they're probably good. But they're 7th right now. You're trying to jostle with the Fever for playoff positioning. So the Aces, they've clinched. And like you said, the Lynx are in 3rd. They're a little bit further ahead. So I'm not saying this game means nothing to either side. I think both teams are still going to come out for the win here. I have a hard time deciphering who's going to want it more. And it may sound cliche in a game, but it's the truth. It's kind of tough to figure out. But what I do know is that the Mercury have struggled defensively against the best teams in the WNBA this season, whether it's the Liberty, whether it's the Lynx, whether it's the Aces. And I think that they're going to struggle here. But I also think they can put up points because we've seen both these teams play high-scoring games. We've seen the Aces give up points in bunches lately. I'm taking the over 167.5. To be honest, when I first saw this total, I thought it was going to be in the high 170s. But to see 167.5, that sounds good enough to me. I'm taking the over in this one.
Next game up, we got the Indiana Fever out on the road facing my hometown team, the Dallas Wings. Wings, 3.5-point home dogs here. Ruffolo, what you like in this one?
This is, for me, probably one of the toughest games on the board because they are teams that have been coming through for us as of late, especially the Indiana Fever. But that being said, I'm actually going to take a shot here on the Dallas Wings and the points. This is the best stretch of basketball we've seen the Wings play all season. And it's almost like once a team gets that feeling of success and gets that feeling of winning, it's kind of contagious and it holds on for a little bit. And it's not in many leagues where the last place team can be 80% of the way through the season and still have a chance at a playoff spot. And that's where we are right now. The Sky are in 11th. The Sky are in 8th with 11 wins. The Wings are in 10th with 9 wins. So they're 2 games out of a playoff spot with 8 games to go. And the Sky are free falling right now. So I think the Wings can do something here. They already beat the Fever. And Indiana, while they're hot, they have been susceptible at times defensively. And this is a Dallas Wings team that can still put up some points. And Dallas has put up some points at home lately as well against some impressive teams. So I'm going to take a shot here on the Wings plus 3.5 with a sprinkle on the money line.
Hey, I agree with a lot of the things you said there. Y'all know I love me some Caitlin Clark. I think right now, bro, I think she's the second best player in the league behind Aja Wilson. I'm there. I'm there at this point, bro. Like y'all just seen what she did to the sky in that last game. She's on another level, another planet right now. Absolutely balling. I think the Wings are live though here, man. I like what I've seen from the Wings in back-to-back games from them as well. And I think this game is just going to be a really fun offensive game. If you haven't watched a WNBA game, this is probably one you should tune in. You're going to see back and forth, a lot of scoring in this game. I think we'll get up and over the total, and I think the Dallas Wings do enough to give themselves a chance to win this game outright. So um, I think it's just going to be one of those affairs. Whoever has the bucket, whoever has the basketball last, probably will win the game. I don't know why I blundered like that, but it happens. But I'm gonna take the over, and I'm gonna take the Wings plus the points. Last and final game of the night, man. We have the Los Angeles Sparks at home at the crib with the Dream rolling into town. Atlanta 4-point favorites in this one. I think the Sparks are live. I think they're live, man. Game for them at home at the crib. Got to play the spot, got to play the situation. I have been on the Dream in certain spots coming out of the break. But I don't know, man. I'm kind of buying some of the stock from the Sparks right now. I'm going to buy a little bit of it. Double revenge spot for them at home at the crib, coming off the nice win over the Liberty, which we had them in that game. I'll roll them with them again in the second game. Give me the Sparks here in this one. Ruffolo, what you thinking?
Is it cheesy if I say they might have found a spark? I don't know. Yeah, I'm taking the Sparks and the points too here. I've been on the Dream a fair bit since the Olympic break, but they've started to falter and they start to look like the Dream of old, before the Ryan Howard injury, and that's the crazy thing. She's been in the lineup, so there's really no excuse for the Dream. They've just been falling flat on their faces in a lot of their recent games. Yeah, they played some tough teams, and they did come close against the Storm on the road, but they also lost by 2 to the Mercury. That kind of started the losing skid, and then losses to the Fever and the Aces. But even though they took advantage of winnable spots, you're facing a desperate LA team. I say desperate because we just talked about it in the last game how, you know, the last place team, the Sparks, are still in the playoff hunt despite having just 7 wins this season. Despite having 7 wins, though, they're still running out of time because they got to make up 4 games on the Sky and they got to leapfrog a bunch of teams. So their chances are limited. Once the Sparks are out, maybe that's when we can just start fading them because then they'll have nothing to play for. But until they are, I think you're going to see a desperate Sparks team the rest of the way. And I think that they're live here as well. So I'm going to take the Sparks on the 4 points in this one as well.
And that's going to conclude this episode of the WNBA Layup Session. As always, we appreciate each and every one of you that continue to tune in and watch this video. Money Making Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, with a card like this, I have premium plays in the WNBA for you guys to check out. I think I've hit 3 in a row on my best bet in the WNBA. So looking to go for a 4th straight today. You can scoop it up over at the site. It's college football season. It's back. NFL coming back this week. Hop on something long-term, man. Let's continue to kick the crap out of the books. Ruffalo, what you got going on, my man?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Even though there's 5 WNBA, this is still a very, very tough card. So I might tread lightly. We'll have to see. But there will be baseball on the board for me tomorrow. There is a college football game, so you might see that as well. But definitely a great time to jump on a long-term pass. College football right now in itself is making it worth it with those long-term passes. I think the 3-day and the 7-day today were cheaper than buying each package individually. So it's your best bet is just to hop on something long-term. Jay and I will definitely make you money. Any of the cappers at Pickdawgz Premium can make you some cash. This is the time to do it. So definitely hop on board and use that promo code PICK at checkout for 15% off your purchase.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. Money Making Sunday. We'll see y'all soon. Be out here.